What if your dog has understood your love all along, but not through the words you thought mattered most? That is the emotional heart of this article. It argues that dogs do not simply hear human language the way we do. They feel the tone behind it, the intention inside it, and the emotional energy wrapped around every word. In other words, the bond is not built only through commands, routines, or affection shown with your hands. It is built through the way your voice makes your dog feel. This is why a few simple words, spoken gently and consistently, can become powerful signals of safety, belonging, and love. The article's central message is clear. When we stop treating speech as mere vocabulary and start understanding it as emotional communication, we begin to speak to dogs in a way they truly recognize. That shift changes everything. It turns ordinary daily moments into deeper connection, and it reminds us that dogs are not just listening to us, they are feeling us. What if the reason your dog reacts so strongly to a simple word is not luck, but the way their brain is built to receive it? That is the powerful idea behind this part of the article. It explains that when you speak to your dog, they are not just catching sounds at random. They are processing the meaning of the word and the emotion in your voice through different parts of the brain, in a way that is surprisingly close to how humans do it. This is why the same word can create two completely different reactions depending on how it is spoken. A warm, gentle tone can make your dog soften, lean closer, and feel safe, while a tense or impatient tone can create uncertainty, even if the word itself is meant to be kind. For dog lovers in Spain, whether speaking softly to a rescue in Madrid or comforting a companion after a walk in Valencia, this changes the way everyday communication should be understood. Words alone are not enough. What matters is when tone and meaning come together in the same emotional direction. That alignment is what makes a dog feel pleasure, trust, and connection. In the end, this part of the article reminds us that dogs do not only hear what we say, they feel whether we truly mean it. What if one of the most powerful words in your relationship with your dog is a word you have probably used 1,000 times without noticing its deeper meaning? That is the idea behind come. In this article, come is not presented as a cold command or a training cue shouted across the room. Instead, it becomes something much more emotional, an invitation. When spoken softly, warmly, and without pressure, this simple word can tell a dog that coming closer means comfort, safety, and connection. Over time, the word begins to carry emotional memory. If your dog hears come in moments linked to food, affection, play, and gentle closeness, it stops meaning obey me and starts meaning good things happen when you choose to be near me. That is why the article places so much emphasis on tone. A harsh come may create hesitation, but a tender one can build trust. For dog lovers in Spain, whether calling a nervous rescue in Madrid or inviting a companion closer after a walk in Valencia, this shift matters. The deeper message is beautiful. When used with kindness, come is no longer just about movement. It becomes a bridge between your dog's heart and your presence. What if one of the most comforting words your dog knows is not a command at all, but a tiny word you probably say every day without thinking twice? That is the beauty of good. In this part of the article, good is not presented as simple praise for correct behavior. It becomes something far deeper, a sound of safety. The article explains that dogs do not respond to this word mainly because of its dictionary meaning, but because of the melody, warmth, and affection wrapped around it. When you say good with a soft smile and a gentle voice, your dog does not just hear approval. They feel reassurance. Over time, that feeling builds emotional memory, so the word becomes a kind of anchor, a signal that everything is well and that they are safe with you. That is why good can be so powerful after playtime, after your dog comes over quietly, or even when they are simply resting near your feet in a flat in Madrid or a home in Valencia. The article's deeper message is touching. Your dog is not only learning what pleases you, but also learning who you are at your kindest. In the end, good is more than praise. It is a soft way of saying, you are okay here, and so are we. What if the word your dog needs most in a frightening moment is not a command that pulls them forward, but a gentle signal that tells them they are no longer alone? That is the deeper meaning of here. In this part of the article, here is not treated as a sharp instruction or a demand for obedience. It becomes a sound of presence, a soft emotional marker that says, I am near and you are safe with me. The article explains that many dogs, especially anxious or rescue dogs, do not respond well to forceful calling because it can feel controlling or threatening. But when here is spoken in a calm, grounded voice, it works differently. It does not push. It invites. That is why this word matters so much in stressful moments. Whether your dog is hiding from thunder in a flat in Madrid or shrinking away from strangers in a park in Valencia. If you sit nearby, slow your breathing, and say here gently, you are not ordering your dog to move. You are creating a safe emotional location they can move toward when ready. The deeper message is beautiful. Sometimes love is not about pulling someone out of fear. Sometimes it is about becoming a calm place they can find on their own. For a dog, here can become exactly that place. What if one of the most healing words your dog can hear is also one of the simplest words in your daily life? That is the quiet power of okay. In this part of the article, okay is not just a casual filler word or a way to move past a small mistake. It becomes an emotional reset button. Dogs are deeply sensitive to human tension, and they constantly read our tone, posture, and breathing to decide whether the situation around them is safe. When your voice tightens, their body often tightens too. But when your tone softens and slows, their nervous system begins to settle. That is where okay becomes so important. Spoken gently, almost like a whisper, it tells your dog that the danger has passed, that your bond is still intact, and that they do not need to stay afraid. Imagine your dog freezing after knocking something over in a flat in Madrid or becoming nervous after a sudden loud noise in Valencia. A sharp reaction can deepen the fear, but a soft, calm okay can begin to release it. Over time, the word gathers emotional meaning. It stops being just language and becomes reassurance itself. The deeper message of this section is beautiful. Sometimes the most loving thing we can give a dog is not correction, but calm. What if the most powerful way to tell your dog, I love you, is not through a grand gesture, but through one soft word spoken at exactly the right moment? That is the emotional heart of this part of the article. It explains that dogs may not understand the dictionary meaning of love, but they understand the feeling wrapped inside it with astonishing sensitivity. When you say the word slowly, gently, and with real warmth in your voice, your dog is not analyzing vocabulary. They are reading tone, rhythm, softness, and emotional safety. That is why this word can become so meaningful over time. Spoken in a calm moment, on the sofa after a walk through Madrid, or late at night in a quiet home in Valencia, love starts to feel like a ritual of belonging. The article suggests that dogs respond most deeply not to complexity, but to consistency. If love is spoken in peaceful, affectionate moments, your dog begins to associate that sound with closeness, comfort, and emotional security. A slow blink, a relaxed sigh, or a gentle lean into your side may be their answer. The deeper meaning here is beautiful. Your dog does not need to understand the language of romance or human poetry. They only need to feel, through your voice, that your heart is open and that being near you is one of the safest places in their world. What if the single most important word in your dog's emotional world is not walk, not treat, but their own name spoken with warmth? That is the powerful idea behind this part of the article. It explains that a dog's name is far more than a label. Over time, it becomes the sound most closely tied to love, safety, routine, and belonging. From the first days at home, every meaningful moment begins with that word: meals, cuddles, play, bedtime, reassurance, and affection. That is why, when you say your dog's name gently, they do not just recognize a sound, they recognize the feeling that usually follows it. In a flat in Madrid or a home in Valencia, that emotional pattern becomes part of the dog's inner map of security. The article also makes an important point. The tone matters just as much as the word itself. If a dog only hears their name in frustration or correction, the name can begin to carry tension. But when it is spoken softly, slowly, and with affection, it becomes the sound of home. You can often see it immediately in their body language. A softening of the eyes, a small ear movement, a calmer tail, a gentle shift closer. The deeper message is beautiful. To your dog, their name is not just who they are. It is who they are to you, What if one of the most comforting words your dog can hear is a word most people think only means restriction? That is the surprising beauty of stay. In this part of the article, stay is transformed from a basic training command into something far more emotional, a promise of continuity. Dogs live with one quiet fear more than we often realize, the fear that the person they love will leave. So when you whisper stay gently while sitting close, holding them on the sofa in Madrid, or pausing beside them after an evening walk in Valencia, the word can begin to mean much more than do not move. It can mean I am here. I am not going anywhere just yet. We are still together. That shift matters because dogs do not only respond to commands, they respond to emotional patterns. If stay is spoken with softness, affection, and calm presence, it becomes associated with security rather than pressure. Even when you do need to leave, using the word in a reassuring tone can help carry the message that separation is not abandonment. The deeper meaning of this section is deeply touching. Sometimes the words we use with dogs become powerful not because of their dictionary meaning, but because of the feeling we attach to them. In the right voice, stay becomes less of an order and more of a vow. What if the real power of these 7 words has never been in the words themselves, but in the feeling that travels through them? That is the deeper truth behind this part of the article. It explains that come, good, here, okay, love, your dog's name, and stay only become meaningful when they are spoken with softness, sincerity, and emotional steadiness. A dog does not need perfect pronunciation or dramatic speeches. What a dog needs is honesty in your tone, calm in your breath, and presence in the moment. That is why the same word can comfort in one voice and unsettle in another. In a flat in Madrid or a home in Valencia, the principle is the same. Dogs are not responding only to vocabulary. They are responding to whether your whole emotional signal matches the message you want to send. If your voice is warm, your body is relaxed, and your attention is truly with them, even a simple word can become a source of safety. The article's larger meaning is beautiful. Love is not built through complicated language, but through consistency, gentleness, and the repeated experience of feeling secure with someone. In the end, these 7 words work not because they are magical, but because they carry your emotional truth in a way your dog can feel immediately. The deeper purpose of this article is to help dog lovers understand that emotional connection is built through the smallest everyday words when they are spoken with real warmth. It is not simply trying to teach 7 useful phrases. It is showing that dogs experience our voice as comfort, safety, and belonging long before they understand any routine or command. For owners in Spain, this message is especially meaningful because it turns ordinary moments at home into opportunities for deeper trust. A gentle come, a soft good, or the loving way you say your dog's name can become part of the emotional world your dog returns to again and again. In that sense, the article is really about changing the relationship itself. It asks us to stop speaking automatically and start speaking with intention, so our dogs feel not only trained, but truly loved, reassured, and emotionally close to us. Sometimes love is not proven by grand gestures. It is proven by the way we make someone feel safe in ordinary moments. The quiet words we repeat with tenderness can become the place where another heart learns to rest. If this touched you, write in the comments the name of your dog and which word they seem to respond to most deeply. And if you want more heartfelt, meaningful content that helps you understand your dog on a deeper level, subscribe and join this community of dog lovers.